Hello and welcome back. This is Titan Dragon. We're back in Satisfactory. Alright, so as you can see, we have a to-do list this time around. We're going to be doing automated wiring, encased industrial beams, a motor factory, and we are going to complete Phase 2 today. Part of completing Phase 2, I do have some research I want to knock out. I have to remember where these things are at. See, here is the extended tool belt.
Tool belt expanded. The latest data indicates that the mycelia possess sentience. Don't worry, we have been given permission to harvest and repurpose their remains.
Alright, let me figure out where this other one's at. Alright, so it should be under mycelia. It's not that one. It's not that one. It's this one.
Medical properties of local mycelia established. New research options available. Medical inhaler variants.
Alright, so we have two other ways that we can research to make inhalers. Alright. Next off, we need all this stuff, because we are going to finish doing these two right now.
Milestone reached. After several pioneers started exhibiting traumatic responses to power blackouts, Fixit developed mitigation tools recommended by your local therapist. Power storages can hold excess power to delay or prevent blackouts in the eventuality that your factory's power consumption exceeds production. To simplify, these are rechargeable batteries. Power towers carry power lines for significantly greater distances than poles, facilitating factory expansion and exploitation of this environment for the good of Fixit and humanity.
Alright, so this gave us the power storage and the two different power towers. Those will be very helpful. Instead of running these small poles, we will be able to run these big ones. And they have a couple different connector points. So they have a connector point down here which can connect to 4 different things, and then you have a connector point up here which you'll run to another tower off in the distance. To be able to use those, we have to have... No, we don't have to have encased industrial beams. I thought we did. Alright. But we need to have concrete, wire, and of course, beams. Okay. So while we wait for the pod to come back, let us look at my plans for the factories we're building. So right now we have this encased industrial beam set up. We need 120 iron, 120 coal, 120 limestone, or 270 limestone. Now you've already seen me set up the 120 steel production, well, to get 180. But I've put that into a blueprint. Next we need, and then we have automated wiring. Now I note I'm inputting, bringing in stators. Actually I just did it that way because I already have this stator set up in a blueprint as well. So where have I selected to do this? So here is my save in the map. So we're going to be utilizing this copper right here. There's 2 impure coal nodes there. That'll give us our 120 coal that we need. We have this limestone, and of course we have this miner, this iron node right here. I've already set up the smelters for the copper and the iron, and then I ran the belts up to this platform that we will be using, that we're going to build on. So let's kick off with the automated wiring first. That's going to be back in a minute. So what I've done with my blueprints is I have basic tab for basic materials. I have basic machines or grouped machines. Then I'm starting to work on transportation. I don't have all the things from the awesome shop that I need. So for stators, this is what I've done. I just set these up to split regularly into these. I've clocked these machines down to match with the input that is needed in the assembler. And then I have them all going onto a single belt that then will flow over into here. These are smart splitters. So we have the right output, it says plates go that way, overflow goes this way. We have wire. What we're going to have to do is shoot this out, because if we get more plates in than we don't need, if I don't have the overflow here, coming out of here, and leaving on a belt, this could jam up and prevent wire from getting into this spot. So we're going to have the overflow come out, and we'll probably have this output onto an overflow belt as well, or onto the same belt as our overflow. And then for the automated wiring, we'll probably do a similar setup where we have the assembler that will have 2 smart splitters, input the cable and the stators, and have overflow coming out, and then loop that output onto a belt. Okay, that re-entry vehicle is back, so let's get our last one inputted. Whoop.
Milestone reached. By adding hypertube entrances at both ends of hypertubes, pioneers can achieve two-way travel between locations. They are also % safer than jump pads. You dreamed of moving across factories like valued resources, such as rocks and water, and Fix-It listened to your dreams. We watched them. We took extensive notes. Hypertubes. Because Fix-It makes pioneers' closely monitored dreams come true.
What I'm doing is I'm looking for a spot that I can connect to this power. Just run it. I already have the power network for the miners set up. Just haven't run the cable over. Yep, perfect. Alright, so here is my overclocked miner for iron. We're going to get 240 out. That's more iron than we need for what I'm building up on this platform. We have the 8 smelters. They're all feeding into the same mergers, just to save. So it comes out, goes to this far side, loops around, and then terminates there. Then these group up to here. So we'll probably run a lift up to there. I'm just not quite 100% sure how or where I want to put the iron input into this factory. Just because I'm not sure where to set up the steel production. So let's go up there and I'll show you what I mean. Actually, let's talk about the copper first. So I've downclocked this one to 100. Then I've adjusted these to give me 25 per minute. And then they all gather up and go up to there. The reason why I made this massive platform was because I wanted to be above the trees in this area. So what I'm kind of thinking is we run the copper along here. Okay, so our first one will be right here. Go into my blueprints. We're going to go into machines. We're going to do constructor. So what I've done with this constructor is it has a wall power attached to it. So we need 7 of these. I believe that's 7. So these were preset for making iron pipes. We're going to change that recipe in a minute here. Just got to make sure we have 7. 1, 2. There's an easy way to do this. We go F, we hit G, and we have 7. Alright. Select recipe. We want wire. We want this to be at 6.667 divided by 7 times 100. Okay. We'll copy our settings. We paste it in. So from here, on a belt to there. Whoop. I'm hitting the wrong buttons here. Alright, this will be all of our copper being consumed into wire. So now we need to gather this wire up. Let's see, we are going to be producing 200 wire, so we'll need Mark III belts. Okay, we got our merger. Even though I don't necessarily need a Mark III there, I want to have it. Okay. So there is that set up. Now we need to do another grouping of constructors for the wire. We need 4 more of those. I am going to go ahead and leave one in space in between. And I think I will have them face the same way that these ones are facing, so I'll bring the output down to here and then loop it around. Okay. Alright. I'm going to select our recipe. We are going to switch this to cable. Not clock speed. We need 100 divided by 4. Actually, probably could have done that same thing with this, where I need to take 200 and divide it by 7. Yeah, basically almost the same. Okay. Alright, that is our cable all done. Now we need to work on doing our stators. And I think what I will do okay, so there's our input line. Actually, I can have it that close, but what I want to do is actually line up this output to be yeah. I may have to increase this belt speed up just a little bit, just for excess stuff flowing in. We can go ahead and connect the power to that one. Okay. I'm okay with that. So now we have our stators coming in, joining this line of our 100 cable. We're only getting 5 stators per minute. The only major thing is if we start getting extra wire or plates coming through, but that's fine. Okay. So now, let's see here. No blueprints. I did make an assembler with attached power. Alright. And I need 2 of these. Okay. Let's grab this belt, attach it. We're going to run it past we want smart splitters. We want one there. We want one there. We want one there and one there. Alright. We'll do, not wire, we'll do cable and overflow. Okay, and these are only calling for 50 wire per. Alright. So we did, or not wire, cable. So here, we are going to go ahead and do stator first. So this is going to take a little bit of time to ramp up to get to full production, because what's going to happen is with the stators, this is going to need to fill to over 100, or to a max stack, which is 100, and then it will allow stuff to flow through. Okay. And with any sushi belt that you do, it's not guaranteed 100% that everything will be consumed. So you need to be able to dispose of it somehow. Okay. And we gotta connect power here as well. We have room there. Yep. Okay. So the only thing we're missing here is our iron line coming up and coming through. Now I am going to make sure that 120 goes through. We're going to be producing more iron ingots than what we need. So I'm actually going to take my extra iron ingots. We're going to run them down below and connect those up in a minute. Okay. If it weren't for the iron, I would say we can hook up power. Alright. We'll do something similar here with this. I'm going to put down my concrete here. So I'm just going to drop down one constructor blueprint. But we'll figure that out in a minute. Alright. So if we do the concrete here, or gather it, we'll shoot it out that way. we can throw down our steel production here. Okay. Let's bring that. Does that line up? Yep. Alright, so with this, I want to keep this steel on the bottom, or the iron on the bottom, so we'll run the coal up top here. I want to say it's this high, but I could be wrong. How does that belt look? It looks straight. Awesome. Alright, that actually needs to be Mark II. Should give myself more room to work. There we go. I honestly wish you could do those wall connections on the top of stuff instead of having a power pole. Alright. Yep, that will give us enough room for... Actually, once we come out of here, we need to be Mark II. Okay. Actually, let me hold off on that. Maybe I'll drop it down underneath, because we still have to do our beams and our encased beams. Yeah. Okay, so lining up with this, we want a constructor. Yep, that looks straight to me. That was not lined up straight. Okay. These are just going to be 100% straight up beams, I believe. 3 constructors, giving us 45 steel beams per minute. Alright. Let's double check, make sure I have a recipe in here. We want the solid steel. Okay. Power time. We'll leave this one detached for a few minutes. Okay. So I'm only producing 45, so that's Mark 1 stuff. 5, I need a 6, and I need 1 merger. I'm just going to merge all 3 of these. Like that. Okay, next we need to do the concrete, because I need to figure out where I'm going to bring that across, because I still have this iron line. I don't want that crossing. You know what, let's just bring it down as well. Go ahead and bring it down. We need Mark 2. Okay, now we don't need to worry about this iron line, and we can finish doing our constructors. I need 6 of these. Perfect. Let's go ahead and do our splitters. Now this is the first time I'm really using this method of running belts. I saw another YouTuber, his name is Dakoba, and that's how he runs his belts, and it kind of makes perfect sense. Okay. Up. I want to copy this one, and I want to paste. Alright. There is that. Okay. Let's drop down. The only thing we haven't done is decided how we're getting the iron up to the top. But I'm going to go ahead and connect power. So all these machines should start going. And that was barely a spike in the total amount of power that we're currently using. Alright. Okay, that needs to connect to that one. This one needs to be a Mark II, and it's going to shoot off that way. Okay, that's not ideal. Why? Oh, and that's saying it's going in? Oh yeah, our machines up top don't have power yet. I still need to run power to the constructors for the concrete. Okay. There we go. Okay, that one's connected properly. This one is not. Oh, I know why. Okay. So what was happening was my lifts were not running the correct way. Alright. Alright, there we go. Alright. The next problem, not really a problem, is connecting the iron in. So what I think I want to do is, because I have those other belts, 5. Of course, I can't see how tall to make this belt. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it, run it along here, and then cross here, and then run down that way. And I'll put a floor hole where it's going to hook into the iron right here, or to the Okay, I'm just going to throw down some temporary foundations so I can run along here. Okay. You just don't have enough wire. You don't have enough wire yet. Okay. We are actually producing enough cable that these machines are full already. And we're just waiting for stators to ramp up production. Alright. So for the encased industrial beams, I need 3 assemblers, because we're going to utilize basically 2.5, but alright. So this is how we'll do it. We'll grab this one again. Actually, let me come out along that center one. That puts it too close. So all right. What I'm going to do is bring these out to here. Okay. Yep. Okay. Alright, so this is at concrete is at 90, so actually I need Mark II. And so coming out of here, we're going to need a Mark III. We are going to bring it down to here. Okay. Now we'll do the assemblers. Those straight. Looks like it. All right. Here's industrial beam. We're only going to be producing 15 per minute with these numbers, so that's 5 apiece. Oh. Okay. I guess I could have made him a little bit closer. Okay, this first one we are going to do steel beams there, and of course overflow. Control C, Control V, Control V. I'm just going to copy this all into all of them and then go change it. So, and then second one, this is going to be concrete. Second one again, concrete. Concrete. Okay. This doesn't necessarily need to be Mark III. I'm going to go ahead and run it as Mark III. And again, we have to get this out and merged. So as you can see, I've got iron pipes running along. Or steel pipes. Why? Oh. That would be why. You should be pipes. There we go. So what I think I will do just so I can flush out that line. All these machines are backed up on concrete, so it's going to take a little bit of time to get them flushed out. But in the meantime, Nope, too close. Not 5. Okay, straight up the middle, we are going to do Encased industrial beams. We're going to overflow out to the right. We're going to link it up to there. Okay, and one last thing we need to do. It's dimensional depot it. That one's already full. And this one's getting there. There we go. Kinda looks like I need to upgrade this stuff to Mark II. There we go. That's Mark II. That one's Mark II. Alright. Alright. Temporarily. What I'll probably do is let this build up for a little bit. And come back later. To see if we got the 100 that we need. This machine's working at 100%, which is great. How are these working? I'm just going to dump more into that one. It's at 100. That's at 100. That's at 100. Alright. This is getting there. These are emptying out nicely. All right. So, that is our automated wiring and the encased beam, industrial beams. Oh, not that. X. Okay, the motor factory. This one's going to be a little bit more tricky. So let me bring over my other screen again. So, what I have is I made a blueprint to make myself 5 rotors per minute and 5 stators per minute. We use this with the automated wiring. But if I were to use these, you know, and they're pure iron recipes, for me to be able to get 5 motors per minute, I have to supply 10 rotors and stators. Not a big deal. But if we go to the calculator, okay, so this one needs basically 83 per minute times 2. Okay, that's 166. And this one needs basically 57 per minute. So that's 280. So that's slightly higher than our current belt speed by 10. So I decided I wanted to do it, the motors, using copper. So I can do my iron right here. Or I could... That's almost 120 per minute. That one's 160. So I could technically do 2 belt lines of iron. Iron wire. Okay. So let's go back into production. So this would be basically, that's what it would be. It is 100% doable. We just need to pick a location. Like, I could build it right here. This impure with this would get me, quite easily get me the amount I need. So let's do that. Now the automated wiring, it's a my brain just shut off. A space elevator part. So we will use it again. What I will probably do until we need to produce more is just shut those off and just let that, the stators and cable, run into the awesome sink. Or I'll just sink it until I need them again. Alright, so here is my pure iron node. And there is my impure iron node. So this will give us 60 per minute. Alright. There it is. Okay. This one will give us 240. What I could do... One of the things I am going to do is we're going to build this up higher in the sky. I just don't know what height I want to build it at, because I do want to build a road/rail system that's up higher. That's why that one's built as high as it is. Plus I want it to be above the trees in that area, because I didn't want to have to cut them down. Okay. One, two, three, four. I built those mergers incorrectly, but that's okay, we'll just flip them around. Okay, we're going to do something similar as we did over on that other one. Okay. So what I think I'll do is I'll come in. Rather than looping back around like I did with the other one. This might be too close. Shoot. Yeah, let's do the miner this way. Then we'll come in here. Put a splitter there. We're going to do Mark II on that side. Mark II on that side. Mark II's all the way down there. Okay. Did I run Mark II's here? Yes. Okay. Not 6, I need 8. The output going that way. Alright, that gives us 240. So let me double check my math here. So we need roughly 278 minus 240. So we need 38. Coming from this one. $38. We'll basically do the same thing with power. No, I didn't do it up high enough. Okay. Iron ingot, 38 divided by 2 is 19. So, there we go. Okay. It's not really where I'm going to have it come out at. Well, it will be, but... Alright. So here's what I'm thinking. These want to come from the other way. All right. That's not the way I want it. There we go. Okay. Yes. Okay. So there's my two stators. Let's go ahead and kill that. Kill that. Bring it to roughly here. Okay. And I just need to connect. Alright. The stators are done, other than I need to make a correction on the blueprint. This should be pipe. And this should be pipe as well. Okay. We're going to run Mark II on this. Actually, can I just run it to... Okay. I'm gonna have to extend this out. But what I'm gonna do is, again, a sushi belt of outputs. Actually, I want to zoom this out 10. Zoom this out 10. Did that not really connect? Ugh. Nope. I am struggling today. Okay. There we go. Okay. So, after having pulled, so this should take out approximately 160. So what I should do now give me a moment here. Whatever song this is annoying. There we go. So now what I should do is figure out So what I'm trying to do is figure out where to bring this up at. Or if I should nix, well, not nix, change my design a little bit. I don't, nope, we'll make it work. Okay. Oh, so one reason why I didn't have the belts running through here is because I didn't know how many of these I would need to run in a line. Like maybe I need to produce 20 rotors per minute or something, you know, so I decided I would just leave the belts in between and I would be able to 2, 3, 4. This is wire. This one's wire. This one's pipe. Okay, yeah. So... it doesn't. Alright. So, in theory... I made a mistake. All right. Putting that back on there so I know where my rotors, production of my rotors start. Okay. I'll probably bring that out and connect it just in case I have extra iron bars being produced. Alright, back to here. What I could do, just to check that that is connected correctly, is power up the that one, just to make sure I'm good with it. All right. And make sure I got these correct. Wire, iron plate. What are you needing? You need pipe. You're going to have the same issue. What I did was I made my reinforced iron plate first. The recipe for that. What? Not what I want. Still get that weird glitchy? No. Okay. How did I line these up? Did it over the same? Alright. Okay. I'm going to get rid of this pillar. Let's go ahead and get rid of that now. I'm gonna fix that. I don't like that. Okay, primarily what I want to see is this iron making it up. Then what'll come in later is I'll add supports. we want to grab this assembler. Okay, production, we want a motor. Stator, overflow, rotor, overflow. Okay, and of course, like any other time, we gotta have it come out. Alright. And we are, in fact, getting iron over here. Okay. I think we're good. All right. Ooh. Good thing I came back and double checked what I had done. Okay. We have our first rotors and stators moving in. Nice. And nothing's overflowing yet. Perfect. Okay. The problem that I see is I don't think I have... No, I don't. Alright. We're going to do overflow to the right, none, and motors to the left. What I might come and do is extend this out one more. Probably not on this side. And put up walls and make this a building. but I'm not that great at the architecture stuff. What the... Okay. In the future, I need to remember to give myself more space in between when I run them like this. Oh yeah. For this to get fully operational, alright, we just gotta be patient. It'll get up to speed. Alright. That is the basic simple motor factory. Well, complete. Let's go complete phase 2. Oh my goodness. I apologize if my spazziness is making you feel sick. Now that I'm producing motors, I should be able to come in here and put in an elevator somewhere. Make it easier to get up here. Yep. Alright, there's our 100 automated wiring. I think we need 1,000 for the next phase, but I'm not 100% sure. Huh. Well, that is weird.
Welcome to the Project Assembly Pioneer Progress presentation. Congratulations, the Phase 2 project part shipment is now ready for delivery. On delivery, Phase 2 will be completed and the construction dock will be constructed. After completion of Phase 2, the technologies of Tiers 5 and 6 will become available in the hub. These might feel intimidating after your previous experience, but rest assured that you would not be here if you were entirely incompetent. Highlights are oil production, railway transportation, the jetpack, and many more. Completing Phase 3 of Project Assembly is your next main objective. Just remember to focus on producing and delivering the project parts, and Fixit's faith in you will be strengthened.
Actually, we'll do it that way.
Phase 2 of Project Assembly completed. You have been performing more adequately under pressure and are closer than ever to saving the day. Perhaps you were the right choice for the job. Time will tell. You will now enter Phase 3 of Project Assembly. Continue as you are, and there should be no issue. For humanity. For Fixit.
Trying to see what that thing is. Just a rudimentary shape with lights. Alright. So it looks like I'll need to rebuild my versatile framework assembler so we can have that going in. Then we'll need to figure out what we need for the adaptive control unit and the modular motor. So let's go ahead. So we've completed all of our objectives. Let's quickly look at what's in Tier 4. So first off, we can get the jetpack, which is awesome. And we have everything but the 50 motors, but we're working on that. Oil processing, that is major. So we get the oil extractor, we get the refineries, we get circuit boards, petroleum coke, new products in the Awesome Shop, Logistics Mark IV. So we get trucks, conveyor lift Mark IV, along with the conveyor belt Mark IV. which, to be honest, at that point, we could totally redo the motor factory and double its size again. Packaged fuel. This is great. We're going to be able to take all that solid biofuel and turn it into liquid biofuel. Then we have petroleum power. This is game-changing power-wise. I actually already have a power plant designed to use sorry, having a brain fart. Up on the Golden Coast, which we haven't explored yet, that will use almost all the oil out there. Okay, and then Tier 6, we got the industrial manufacturing. So this is where we get those two. Then we have our railways. We have railway signs. Pipeline Mark II, along with our Blueprint Designer Mark II. That gives us a 5x5 area instead of a 4x4, which is what the current one has. So I think our biggest goal will be to get this complete, along with the jetpack. Ooh, we're going to have to turn in some rubber. I don't think I have rubber yet. So we'll need to start some basic oil processing before we get into the power. Because we'll need to get some plastic and some rubber. And we want to get some polymer resin as well. So, but that'll be it for this streaming session. Thank you for joining me. As always, I hope you have a wonderful evening or day if you're watching this post-stream. Thanks for joining me.